It's recording. Okay, guys, so this is actually going to be my first video about a few things that I'm learning as I'm here in quarantine and I'm learning lessons about how I can make myself just more effective at going after the things that I want, reaching my goals. And I think I just want to kind of share whoever this video gets to out there in the internet, and I just kind of want to see what happens, right? So, one amazing thing that I have been learning about when it comes to trying to achieve our goals, however small or big they are, is that it's not about really the actions that we're taking, right, in order to achieve that goal. And what I mean is that in part, obviously, we need to take these actionable steps in order to get to that goal. That is a huge part of the process of us achieving the life we want. It is a huge part. Okay, but after watching this amazing interview with Dr. Andrew Huberman on the Lewis channel, I'm just starting to watch this. They're both awesome people, but he was discussing how it's not really about the action that we're taking, it's more about what we are not doing by performing that action. And that was like a game changer, right? Because if you think about, for example, how let's just say in the morning, we want to start our day out at 7 in the morning. Like let's make that a goal, right? Like let's pretend that that's a goal for some of us out there. Like waking up at 7 a.m. If some of us are having a hard time doing that, right? An action that we could take, right, in order to make that a possibility, if it is difficult for us to do that, is to the night before go to bed at 9, right? Go to bed at 8, maybe latest 10, right? Or something like that. And it's not really about, for example, so that's one action, right? Going to bed earlier in order to get up on at this time that we want to be getting up on, right? So it's not about getting up I'm sorry, going to sleep at 9. It's not about that actionable step. What it's about is about what we are not doing by doing that action. Do you kind of let me just dive in more? And it's about, you see the 3 hours that we have maybe spent before, maybe going to sleep at 11 or midnight, and we kept telling ourselves, wow, I wish I could get up at 7 a.m. But at all the times before, we would just be going to sleep at midnight, and we would just kind of keep telling ourselves, like, we want to get up at 7 a.m., but we're going to sleep at midnight. There's no way we're going to get up at 7 a.m. or whatever, 6 a.m. Let's make it 6 a.m. If we're going to sleep at midnight, it's not going to happen. So by taking the action of going to sleep at 9, what we are not doing, right, is wasting time, like those extra 3 hours, right? So what we're not doing is, I don't know, watching TV, wasting our time watching TV, wasting our time being on social media, gathering this useless information that's not helping us to achieve our goal, which is to wake up at 7, wake up at 6 or whatever, right? So going a little further in that, for me, one huge thing that I learned that changed everything about how I go about my life and how I achieve my goals was from Mel Robbins, who said that, hit the snooze button in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the 5 second rule, which is amazing, and get the hell out of bed and launch yourself out of bed like a rocket, right? And it's crazy because to me, I would launch myself out of bed. So I was doing the 5 second rule, right? And then I will make my bed. So that was my thing in the morning. I will make my bed because by making my bed, I would have something that I had control of, right? And that's such a huge thing that she talks about. It's about the little steps and the little actions. And yes, absolutely. Oh my God, 1,000%. It's about those little steps and those little baby steps. It's about but Andrew Huberman, this neuroscientist, this professor from Stanford University, took it a step further, and he said that it's not only about that step, It's about rewarding yourself for doing that step, rewarding yourself for the things you are not doing by doing that step. Do you understand? So what I wasn't, so it's funny because then I started realizing, holy crap, what I am now not doing by waking up when the alarm rings and hitting the snooze button and just launching out of a rocket and making my bed. What I'm not doing is I'm not, in bed looking at my phone, wasting time. I'm not in bed just succumbing, or what? How do you say succumbing? Whatever, like almost like being, I don't know, entrenched by this feeling of comfort that's not helping me to get up on time. And to start my day, 30 minutes journaling just for myself, and to start my day trying to analyze, and trying to see what my top project is for the day. So wow, what a game changer. So, whoever is watching this, I want to encourage you to understand that it's it's absolutely, you want to take actions towards your goals. That is the only way your goals are going to get achieved. And I'm not talking about big steps. I'm not talking about big steps at all. So that means, let me give you another example. If you're thinking about, I want to get up in the mornings and go for a run. This is an amazing example that I love to use because it's an example actually that my partner always tells me he wants to do it, but he hasn't been able to do it. And I secretly know why now. He wants to get up really early in the morning, like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., and go for a run before he starts his day, right? So one thing that anyone can do if anyone has this goal, right, is to go to sleep earlier the night before, right? That's one thing you can do. And you don't even have to go for the run yet, right? You can just take that first step, which is just to go to sleep early first, right? And maybe just do that for a week. Maybe that's just the first step you're gonna do for a whole week, and you're not gonna go for that run yet. And then take a second step, like right. So then you say something like, well, maybe you want a visual cue to inspire you to go for the run. So maybe you lay the clothes out, the running gear, the outfit, you lay it out next to you in your bed. So now you're going to sleep early. You're waking up at 5, 6 a.m., whatever, right? So you're waking up refreshed, and then on top of that, you have a visual cue. That was your second action that you took, which was to lay the clothes out right next to you. So the third step could be just putting the clothes on. Guess what? You're not doing the run yet. That's not what you're doing yet. But do you see what I'm saying here? So, oh my God, such a game changer, because when you think about how we do all of these little steps, and that's how we get to the action. Of course, big deal, but it's so important to reward ourselves for each and every single little step that we're taking towards accomplishing the goal. And how do you reward yourself? This is what you do. And he talks about this in the interview. Professor Andrew Huberman, neuroscientist at Stanford University, and he said it in this interview with Lewis something, I forgot his last name, but I just started watching it. He says that you reward your effort by walking, meditating, doing some yoga. Just you reward it by just giving yourself a pat on the back. That's all you do, but you want to make sure that you reward yourself, because in order to, what he says, and he says this, and this is according to science, he says that in order for you to sustain that behavior, to sustain that action of making your bed in the morning, sustain that action of going to sleep early, of laying the clothes out, blah, 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 for that goal, whatever the actions you're taking for that goal, in order to sustain that behavior for the long term, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're rewarding yourself through the process, because by rewarding yourself what you're doing, the action itself, he explains that is actually adrenaline, that is actually epinephrine, that's signaling in our brain, the neurons that are working in our brain, that's actually adrenaline. When you're taking the action of going to sleep early, laying the clothes out, getting up on time, blah, 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 that's the adrenaline. And then the dopamine is once you've exhausted your adrenaline and your epinephrine, dopamine kicks in to give you a boost. And dopamine acts as a reward, as a motivation, is a pursuit to that reward. And it's so important for us to always pat ourselves on the back for each and every single little action that we're taking towards our goal, even if we haven't reached our goal yet. Because literally we can feel it in our brain. That is how we're wired to respond to things, right? And just complete game changer. I'm kind of going a rant here, but I have to say that it is so freaking cool. I love it. And I think the next video I'm gonna make. I want to talk about the 5 second rule, which is when you count back from five, four, three, two, one, and you actually activate your prefrontal cortex. And the creator of this, Mel Robbins, motivational speaker, award-winning motivational speaker, really dives into it and just ingrains it into people's heads, and it's so freaking awesome. So I'm gonna upload this. I want to see who kind of becomes a little bit engaged with it, right? And then I'll go from there. So thanks to whoever watched this.